But his son Rishabhadev was very popular among citizens and among government officers and ministers. Understanding the popularity of his son, Maharaj Nabi enthroned him as the emperor of the world to give protection to the general populace in terms of Vedic ritual religious system. To do this, he entrusted him into the hands of learned Brahmins, who would guide him in administering the government. Then Maharaj Nabi and his wife Merudev went to Badarikashram in the Himalayan mountains, where the king engaged himself very expertly in austerities, penances, with great jubilation. In full samadhi, he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is Krishna in his plenary expansion. By doing so, in course of time, Maharaj Nabi was elevated to the spiritual world known as Vaikuntha. Śrīla Prabhupāda states in his purport, when Maharaj Nabi saw the son Rishabhadev was popular with the general populace and the governmental servants, he chose to install him on the imperial throne. In addition, he wanted to entrust his son into the hands of the learned Brahmins. This means that a monarch was supposed to govern strictly according to the Vedic principles under the guidance of the learned Brahmin, who could advise him according to standard Vedic scriptures like Manusmriti, and similar shastras. It's the duty of the king to rule the citizens according to Vedic principles. According to Vedic principles, society is divided into the four categories: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Chaturvarnam maya shristam gunakarma vibhagashaha. After dividing society into this way, it is the king's duty to see that everyone executes Vedic principles according to his caste. A Brahmin must perform the duty of a Brahmin without cheating the public. It is not that one attains the name of a Brahmin without qualifications. It is the king's duty to see that everyone engages in his occupational duty according to Vedic principles. In addition, retirement at the end of life is compulsory. Maharaj Nabi, although still a king, retired from family life, went with his wife to a place called Badarikashram in the Himalayas, where the deity Narayana is worshipped. The words prasana nipunena tapasa indicate that the king accepted all kinds of austerity very expertly and jubilantly. He did not at all mind leaving his comfortable life at home. Although he was the emperor, despite undergoing severe austerities and penances, he felt very pleased at Badarikashram, and he did everything there expertly. In this way, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, Samadhi Yoga, always thinking of Krishna, Vasudeva, Maharaj Nabi attained success at the end of his life, was promoted to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka. Jai. This is the way of Vedic life. One must stop the process of repeated birth and death and return home back to Godhead. The words Tan Mahimanam Avapa are significant in this regard. Srila Sridhar Swami says that Mahima means liberation in this life. We should act in such a way in this life that after giving up this body, we will become liberated from the bondage of repeated birth and death. This is called Jivan Mukta. Srila Viraragavacharya states that in the Chandogya Upanishad, there are 8 symptoms of a Jivan Mukta, a person who is already liberated even while living in this body. The first symptom of one is so liberated is that he freed from all sinful activity. Apahata papa. As long as one is under the clutches of Maya in the material energy, one has to engage in sinful activities. Bhagavad-Gītā describes such people as duskritina, which indicates that they are always engaged in sinful activity. One who is liberated in this life does not commit any sinful activities. Sinful activities involves illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Another symptom of a liberated person is vijara, which indicates that he's not subjected to the miseries of old age.
What?
Vijara.
How is it possible?
Another symptom is vimrityu. A liberated person prepares himself in such a way he does not take any more material bodies, which are destined to die. In other words, he does not fall down again into the repeated cycle of birth and death. Another symptom is vishoka, which indicates he's callous to material distress and material happiness. Vishoka. Another is vijigatsa, which indicates he no longer desires any kind of material enjoyment. Another symptom is apipata, which means he has no desire other than to engage in devotional service of Krishna, his dear most pursuable Lord. A further symptom is satyakama, which indicates that all his desires are directed to Lord, Supreme Truth, Krishna. He does not want anything else. He is satya sankalpa. Whatever he desires is fulfilled by the grace of Krishna. First of all, he does not desire anything for his material benefit. And secondly, if he desires anything at all, he simply desires to serve the Supreme Lord. That desire is fulfilled in by the Lord's grace. That is called Satya Sankalpa. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the word Mahima means returning to the spiritual world, back home, back to Vaikuntha. Srila Sukadeva Goswami says that the word Mahima means that the devotee attains the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called Sadharma, or the same quality. Just as Krishna is never born and never dies, his devotees who return to Godhead never die and never take birth again within the material world. All glory to Śrīla Prabhupāda. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Girina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I just fell upon this verse this morning. I just opened the book and so many points made here about apavarga, the process of liberation from the cycle of birth and death. And wonderful purport by Śrīla Prabhupāda. So, Prabhupada said, I've done half my job. And he didn't, he said the other half is the varnashram. So, here I see in saranagati, Krishi Gorakshavani Jam Vaishyakarma Svabhavajam, that cow protection, agriculture, Brahminical culture is being executed. And we see that people of Bharat Bhumi are attracted to this naturally. As Prabhupada said, if you're born in Bharat Bhumi, it's very, very important birth. And he said in one of these purports that one should become Krishna conscious and then take this Vedic knowledge all over the world. So we see that Prabhupada's desire is unfolding here in Sridham Sharanagati.
Tell it to guests. You're born in Bharat Bhumi. You should preach Krishna.
Yeah, I mean, people
I do tell it to them.
Yeah. People are naturally it's in their blood, they come to Mayapur in the thousands. And despite all the garbage that has been perpetrated for so many decades in India, Krishna keeps sending different Shaktivesh avatars. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he destroyed so much sahajas and apasampradayas in Bengal. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur was sent also by Lord Chaitanya. He's a descendant of a disciple of Lord Nityananda, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he's an empowered, great Mahabhagavat. He's known to be Kamala Manjari. And so he says that also that Godruma Dweep, there's the 9 Dweeps, so the Godruma Dweep is non-different from Nandagram, or where Krishna and Balaram were living. So all these personalities are coming in spite of the, persistence of Kali. Personality of Kali is just really trying to overtake. These personalities are coming, and they're very powerful, and they're gradually, slowly establishing this Varnashram, Sanatan Dharma, Daivi Varnashram, and saving the souls, like Grishabhade was saying, Nunam Pramata Kudite Vikarma, that people are mad after sense gratification. So we see in Kali Yuga, people are just mesmerized by sense gratification. And Mahatmas, one should take shelter of the great souls, Mahatmas. So just by following these simple principles and chanting the holy name of the Lord daily, we're able to guide people and help people, bring them to the lotus feet of Śrīla Prabhupāda, great Senapati. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that a Senapati would appear. So the analogy is that we're at war with Kali. Senapati refers to a military leader. So Prabhupada is a military leader, and his purports are like different anga, different weapons, different astras that are destroying the mentality of the Kali Yuga people. So it's very nice what is happening. Slowly but surely, the movement is destined to spread more and more throughout the world. We realize that people are very, very disturbed. Their minds are very disturbed. They don't know. They realize that. That's why this yoga is so popular. They're trying to, quell the mind down, have peace of mind. Upadruta means disturbed mind. So people are very disturbed in Kali Yuga. They're suffering so much. And they have so poor leaders.
They just roll into your house.
Very poor leaders.
Or 9 at night.
So, all glories to the Vrishabhadev is an incarnation of Krishna, of God. He appeared in Satyuga, partly. And Nayam Deho Deha Bhajan Milke Kastan Kaman Art. Don't work hard. Prabhupada was saying, they're envious of us. We don't work, but we see we have nice prasadam, beautiful buildings. We have nice farm projects. We have restaurants. But then people criticize us. Why are you not working like a donkey? Prabhupada said, why don't you join us? Come and join us. Krishna takes care of his devotees, Krishna will take care of his devotees. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Krishna said, I'll supply what you need and protect whatever you have. So devotees, although that we go through difficulties, tatenu kampam shushamikshimano bunjani vatmakritam vipakam. Devotee always tolerates the obstacles in life, because in the material world, there's always obstacles. There's all kinds of kleshas or miseries coming to us from our own body and mind, from Mother Nature, from people who are envious of us, even in the community of devotees, we see envy manifesting, and therefore,
Really, Maharaj.
so we have to tolerate. Trinadapi sanichana tarodevasi ishnona. Devotee has to feel himself less than a blade of grass, and more tolerant than a tree. People come and cut the tree for firewood and take all the fruits from the tree and so on, but the tree tolerates. So, of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that we can use so many things in the service of Krishna, like lust, greed, even anger, illusion, but envy cannot be used in the service of Krishna. Sridam
Really?
Sarvabhutanam.
Really?
Yeah, he said that one, envy is the great disease of the soul based on the false ego.
I learned so.
You can use lust, you can use, and then he describes lust, you mean you have children. And then greed, you can be Lola Shamai, you can be greedy for devotion, for love of God, Raganuga, Kam, Krodh, Lobh. Anger, he says Hanuman, Arjuna was very angry, he had to use anger. And then Moha Mada, Moha, illusion. How did he say illusion? You can bring people out of illusion by chanting Hare Krishna. Moha Mada, madness. You can be like Lord Chaitanya was acting like a madman. Shikha Mahidi, he came into the house. Gadadhar Pandit came to his house. Not Shikha Mahidi, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was always acting like a materialist, his house was full of furniture and opulence, and he was smoking a hookah, and, he had rings on his fingers. But when he heard about a verse quoted by one of Gadadhar's friends, Mukunda Datta, quoted a verse about Govinda, he started rolling on the ground and kicking, breaking all the furniture, foaming at the mouth, tears, so like a madman. Then Gadadhar Pandit, who was critical of him, why is this person so materialistic, But ultimately, Gadadhar Pandit saw this is a great, great Mahabhagavat. And Gadadhar Pandit begged him, please give me Diksha. So Gadadhar Pandit is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. And Punda Vidyanidhi is Rishabhanu, the father of Radharani. So like that, these are all wonderful leelas, wonderful pastimes. And therefore, Vaishnavanam Kriyamaja, one cannot understand, cannot judge and understand who is a great devotee of the Lord just from external. One could be a great devotee of the Lord and be surrounded by many beautiful women. Maharaj Prataparuja had many beautiful wives. He had elephants. He was the king of Orissa. He looked like pounds and shillings, man. Lord Chaitanya fell into his arms during the Rath Yatra festival. And when he realized it was the king, he was very satisfied within, because Maharaj Prataparuja had swept in front of the Lord Jagannath with a golden broom. But externally, he wanted to let his devotees know he should avoid the association of materialistic people. So he says, oh no, I should go and bathe in the Ganga. Oh, I'm being touched by a materialist. Diskinchanasya Bhagavad Bhajanon Mukasya Param Jigamashur Babalagarasya. So darshanam vishainam. To see someone who's materialistic is like drinking poison. So you're just acting. So Vaishnavira Kriya Mudra Vignahana Bujhaya. You don't know who is a great devotee, who is not. Maharaj Pratapruja was actually Indradumna Maharaj in previous age, and he wanted Nilamadava to come to his palace, and you know the story of Lord Jagannath. So ultimately Lord Chaitanya gave full mercy to Maharaj Pratapruja as the cart was going to Gundicha Mandir. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Maharaj Pratapruja, simply wear simple clothing of Vaishnava and go and massage Lord Chaitanya, who in the Aitola Gardens near Gundicha Mandir, there's some gardens which remind Lord Chaitanya of Vrindavan. He's lying on a bench there, and Maharaj Pratapruja came, was massaging him and reciting from the 10th canto, the gopis searching for Krishna, the gopis glorifying the flute of Krishna, those particular chapters.
I have a question.
Sure.
The envy cannot used in service of Krishna. Is it because we fell from material, spiritual, because we did have envy? That's one quality what you should not ever employ in
the ultimate
correlation there between this.
I had never read that, because we're envious of Krishna, but I mean, yeah, we wanted to be Krishna, we wanted to enjoy independently some or other. There's all this debate going on about how did the soul come from the spiritual world, fall down, and so much.
I just heard another version of that the other day that I hadn't heard. That, well, you did fall from the spiritual world, but only from Mahavishnu. In that portion of the spiritual world. So,
So we never been in actually Goloka or somewhere.
well,
It's Krishna.
that was the argument.
Yeah, we didn't touch Krishna. We just were as
Yeah. Well, what did Prabhupada say?
I don't know. Yogi had
What did Prabhupada
logical
say?
question.
Well, Prabhupada, as far as I understand, Prabhupada said that you were envious of Krishna. So in order to be envious of Krishna, you have to be aware of Krishna.
But, there's no envy in Vaikuntha. Like the Jai Vijay, they were at the gate, and the four Kumars said, they were at the 7th gate of Vaikuntha, and the four Kumars, no envy, why are you angry? The four Kumars wanted to come and see Lord Narayan. And they said, and then there it says, envy doesn't exist in Vaikuntha, so they cursed them, right? Of course, Krishna's arrangement, he wanted them to fight with him, Lord Varaha, Lord Nrsimhadev, Ravana, but still, what the Kumara said was, there's no envy or anger or these qualities in Vaikuntha, so you're somehow not very pure. Prabhupada said, if you're in a deep dark well and someone throws a rope, you're trapped in the well, and someone throws your rope, you don't start analyzing, how did I fall into the well? You just grab the rope. So Prabhupada, I never heard him discuss the way other groups, Vaishnava groups are going back and forth. Oh, you got this, and gradually you lost your devotion. I don't know. But, so, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course, he says also in the Bhakti Alokya, it's a very beautiful book. They're using it now for Bhakti Shastri in Mayapur. That if we're inattentive in our chanting, then we start committing all the other 9 offenses. And the first one he said, the elephant offense, is sadhu nindana. So offending of another Vaishnava. And then he said even offending other living beings is aparad. We should also be very friendly and loving to those who are non-devotees. But definitely the elephant offense, Atimata, sadhu nindana, it's coming from an envious place. So internally we're like, yeah. And, Yasmin nod vijite loko, loka nod vijite chaya. That a real devotee that pleases Krishna is in the 12th chapter. He doesn't cause anxiety to anyone. He doesn't feel animosity to anyone, nor does he accept insult from anyone or abuse, if even he's abused. So Lord Chaitanya was telling Haridas Thakur, said, and so Lord Chaitanya is sitting on the Sringasan at Srivas Thakur's house, right? And then, where's Haridas? So then they called Haridas, come right now. Lord Chaitanya is calling you. And Lord Chaitanya is saying, they were beating you. The Qazi ordered that you be beaten because you refused to stop chanting Hare Krishna. And Haridas Thakur said, you can cut me to pieces, but I'm never going to stop chanting Hare Krishna. So the Qazi convinced the emperor, Nawab Hussain Shah, who was very sympathetic. He saw Haridas Thakur glowing. He thought, my gosh, this is a great saint. But the Qazi was his mentor. The Qazi was like the Brahmin of the emperor. Okay. And he relented, he said, you do what you want. So the Qazi said, beat him till he dies. So when Lord Chaitanya called Haridas, he said, I was sending my Sudarshan chakra to cut their heads off. The constables were beating you, sending my Sudarshan. Haridas Thakur, your prayers were so powerful that please forgive these constables. Please, I'll take their sins, please. That I couldn't send my chakra there. You might have become, upset with me that you were praying for these guys and for these constables, and I was going to kill them. So my chakra, your powerful prayers for these persons were so strong, I couldn't send my chakra there. And then he said, he showed Haridas Thakur's back, and on his back there was whip marks on Lord Chaitanya's back. He said, I covered your back with my back. And so Haridas Thakur, he was always praying for even his adversaries who were trying to kill him. He was praying for them, So devotee is like that. He doesn't take offense. He doesn't get envious or want some retribution. He wants to avenge someone's insult. It's a very advanced stage. I don't know if I'm there yet, but...
Exactly. Best what I can do is just hold myself and not answer. But that's my best doing.
But to get to that Vishuddha Sattva, the pure chanting of the holy name, aparada, what's it called? Aparada, Sudanami Ruchi, to get to that pure chanting of the holy name, we have to come to this platform of zero offenses, zero aparad. Even within our minds, within our hearts, we have to say, I have offended this person in previous life, so now I'm getting the fruit of my offense, and I have to accept it. Very advanced stage.
I thought it was interesting that of those 8 symptoms of the Jivan Mukta, person who's liberated,
Yeah.
one of them was that he wants only service to Krishna. And I thought, well, that's the translation Prabhupada gave us of the meaning of chanting the Maha Mantra. Just give me service. So that seems like Prabhupada's trying to, the wholeness into that focus that, you know, if you really want to be liberated, and here's your mantra and here's the meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the service, Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, non-different from Krishna in that sense. He's absolute. So your devotional service, Krishna himself, his devotees, it's all absolute, right? So chanting his holy name and his service, devotional service, is absolute Krishna. And it's very attractive. Yeah.
It's valuable. It's a valuable commodity, service
Yeah.
to Krishna. If you're allowed to do some service, that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm. And you know, people are, I can't do this, I can't do that, and they get judged. Like sometimes we think, oh, this person's, not so strong in devotional service, and he's not following this, or he's not chanting 16 rounds, and so on. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, even the devotee who's chanting, but he's committing, he's still contaminated by his sense gratification. Krishna still loves him more than a pure Brahmin who is not a devotee of the Lord, like all these Brahmins with the mantras and the tantras and all these things. They're expert, they know scripture. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, even this person is struggling, he may be from a very low caste or whatever, and he's still struggling with desires for opulence or sense gratification. Krishna still loves him and he's going to help him. So when we see persons trying to be devotees or are devotees, but they're not doing everything properly or correctly, we still have to have great respect for them and give them our association. Of course, if they're, Kapila Dev is saying that some devotees are envious or violent to other devotees, then in that particular purport, Kapila Dev, I think it's chapter 30, Prabhupada said we should avoid those persons who criticize other devotees and so on. And of course we know Prabhupada's the famous verse, famous purport that those who consider themselves Vaishnavas but criticize this powerful preacher of Lord Chaitanya's mission and who are just like camels and asses criticizing the efforts of Lord, the pure devotee of the Lord. So he's referring to his god brothers and he's kind of strong words. He's trying his best. He's initiating people who are Malechas and Yavanas and giving them Brahminical initiation, sannyas initiation, and he's being criticized. He says, like camels and asses, they're criticizing. But this is Lord Chaitanya's movement. It's meant for everyone, right? Even tribal people in the forests. So yeah, Kapila Dev says there, just another verse, but those who are angry, cruel, and violent towards other devotees should be avoided. Their devotional service is in the mode of ignorance. It's not in the mode of goodness.
Avoided. Avoided.
Yeah, you show respects,
like
but you don't.
If you're going to avoid them, right?
Yeah.
Then you're thinking, this is why I'm avoiding them, because this and this and this.
Yeah.
So it's almost like fault finding.
Devil's advocate here.
Well, to discriminate, you have to.
Yeah, I often
So
hear.
that's not fault finding, then. That's my point. I don't consider that to be fault finding.
Well, isn't it like to see somebody's qualities truly? It's not fault finding. I just see him, what he is, and I avoid.
Yeah. Maybe if you indulge in it and try to, convince others that this guy is,
Or propagate it. Like, oh, this person like this, like that. Just don't say anything, everybody will have their own experience. Something like that.
But it's fun too.
Because if one hears blasphemy of another Vaishnava, it says that you are also implicated in that
Right.
sin.
In the
Even
tape
if
of
you
the
hear it,
scene,
huh?
Then you better be careful.
Yeah,
So
that's
that-
dangerous. Yeah.
So if someone's going, yeah, this guy, he's a guru, but I know him, and yeah, he's not that advanced. And he's this and that. This guy's a G. People get envious like that, and then you have to go away. Krishna put them in a position. That's their position. They're trying their best, and then people start criticizing. They're committing hatimata, the elephant offense. They're destroying their garden of devotion. So we have to avoid it. It's like, sorry, Prabhu, I can't hear this, criticizing this Vaishnava. There's so much criticism of, we see the history, criticize leaders. But they're put there by Krishna, and trying their best, So to look for faults, like Ramachandra Puri was looking for faults in the devotees, they're eating too much sugar. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya, I see there's ants on the windowsill. Yeah, you're eating sugar. You're a sannyasi. Like this. He's a Mayavadi within his heart. And Lord Chaitanya showed great respect for him because he's a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. So he's his god uncle. But ultimately, Prabhupada says he was impersonalist within his heart. Of course, this is simply to show us or demonstrate that even someone, tilak, kantimala, saffron, if they're criticizing other Vaishnava groups, like there's so many branches now of Vaishnava, the Gaudiya Sampradaya coming down, so many branches. We have to be careful not to.
With Ramachandra Puri, none of the associates of Lord Chaitanya actually approached him and challenged him. They just silently bore the pain of his presence.
Yeah, they're so
And then when he finally left, everybody was happy.
happy. And Madhavendra Puri chastised him, right?
Nobody challenged him. Ramachandra Puri said, "What's your fault line?"
Yeah, no one challenged him because Lord Chaitanya showed respect. But he went to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was
He challenged.
about to die. And
So
then,
he was his guru.
yeah, that's the spiritual master. He's like, get out of here. If I see your face, I'm going to go to hell. He's saying, oh, why are you lamenting that? He's lamenting and feeling the mood of Vipalamba, separation from Krishna. Oh, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma, like if you're on the Brahmabhuta platform, why are you lamenting? He's like, get out of here. If I see your face, I'll lose all benediction and all auspiciousness. So Prabhupada said that Ishvara Puri was so humble. He was, cleaning up Madhavendra Puri's stools when he was an invalid about to die, and bathing him and taking care of him. And God himself came and took Diksha from Ishvara Puri. Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya. He was called Nimai Pandit at the time. He was still quite young, maybe 21 years old or something. And he went to Gaya and took initiation from Ishvara Puri. And then he came back to Navadvip, Mayapur. And then he thought, I should start the Sankirtan movement. So they're having huge kirtans at the house of Srivas Thakur every night, big kirtan. And all the famous devotees were with Lord Chaitanya. Ramai Pandit, Mukunda Datta, Vakreshvara Pandit. These are all incarnations of gopis and cowherd boys. And then
That's pretty humble.
that's when the Sankirtan movement started.